If you'd like to set up a private counselling practice, then this video is for you. Hello, my name is Chris. I'm the co-founder of the Leeds Anxiety Clinic. I like to think we're a highly successful counselling practice, and I'm going to share some information here about how you could set up your own practice in this video. Now, I'm based in Leeds in England, so a lot of the advice comes from that perspective. There will be differences in other countries, so some of this will be relevant to you, some of it won't be. But if you're also in England or Wales, then this will all be relevant to you, hopefully. So as I say, I'm coming from that assumption that you're in the UK and that you're already a counsellor. Now, technically, in the UK, you don't need any counselling qualifications. You can just call yourself a counsellor and start counselling people. But I'm going to assume that you've already gone out and got a qualification, because it would be unethical to just start calling yourself a counsellor without any qualifications. And on the practical side, you might also struggle to get insurance because they're going to know what professional body you're registered with. But if you're a counsellor and you're thinking about branching into private practice, or maybe you're in training, looking at training courses and thinking, how do I start a practice after I graduate? Then here's some stuff to know. So let's start with the practical side, right? You need to set yourself up as some kind of company. Now, you can be a sole trader, which means you and your company are the same thing. So it's just you. And this can be a simple way to get started. So you don't have a separate company. Like, everything is you. You file a self-assessment tax return. You put all of your income and all of your expenses just goes through you. And there's no separation between you and the counselling practice. Another way you can do that is to become a limited company. Generally, this is the way I would recommend. So you incorporate a company with Companies House, as we've done with Leeds Anxiety Clinic Limited, and then that is a separate company, so it files its own corporation tax return. All of the money is separate. If anyone should sue the clinic, which thankfully hasn't happened yet, then they would be suing the company rather than suing me directly. And it just gives you that difference between your personal life and your kind of work life. So think about your legal status. Do you want to be a sole trader, or do you want to be a limited company? The next thing you're going to want to think about is insurance. So if someone, say, comes into your counselling room and trips over, you're going to need public liability insurance for that. If someone thinks you've given them bad counselling and sues you, you're going to want professional indemnity. You also might want to think about contents insurance if someone steals your laptop from your office, things like that. Now, typically you can get a bundled insurance package where you go to an insurer and you say, I'm a counsellor, can I have insurance? And they say, yes, here's a package, and it has legal protection, professional indemnity, it'll have property, contents insurance. You can only select what you want, but it'll give you the whole package. So you pay for one insurance product and it covers all the different kinds of insurance that you're going to need. Now, the other thing that you're going to need is some basic accounting knowledge. So you can hire an accountant and they will do it all for you. You can also, if you want to learn a bit about accounting, you can use packages like Sage or QuickBooks or Xero. So this is like online software where you just put in all of your expenses, all of your sales, and it does some of the accounting for you, but you will have to do your own tax return, or you can just pay an accountant to do it for you. Personally, I like to know everything that's going on, so I like to get involved with the accounts. But if you're thinking, this is too much to learn, you absolutely can just hire an accountant and they will take care of it all for you. Now, in the UK, there is a VAT threshold, which is if you earn below, it's currently £85,000 at time of recording, may have gone up by then. But if you're below that, then you won't need to worry about VAT. So you won't be able to claim VAT back, but you won't have to pay VAT on any of your the money you receive. So that's really the easiest way to do it when getting started. And for many counsellors, they never reach the VAT threshold, and so they never need to worry about that. So it's just you'll need to do your annual tax return. So that's a bit about the practical. Then let's talk about the venue, because you're going to need to do your counselling somewhere once you've got clients, and we'll talk about getting clients later on. So a lot of places will rent rooms by the hour. So probably in your town or city, there'll be a counselling centre that will rent rooms by the hour. And that's a really popular way to do it. You can just book, pay your money and get it for when you need. Can be quite expensive in terms of like you're not making a long-term commitment to them, so you can pick them when you need, but then you're going to be paying a higher rate per hour than if you were renting an office. If you're sure that you're going to be busy the whole time, then you could rent an office. You could also do it from your house. That's very popular. But if you are doing it from your house, then your house then becomes a place of business. So you'll need to make sure you've got that public liability insurance, even if you're doing it from your house. But you can rent an office, you can rent rooms by the hour. Just search for counselling rooms in your city. You can do it from home, or of course you can do it online. Like Skype counselling, Zoom counselling is very popular now as well because clients like not having to travel. So you've got kind of the practical, the legal stuff to sort out, and then you need to find a venue. Where are you going to do it? Are you going to have an office? Are you going to do it from home? And then the next thing you need to do is find some clients. And essentially this is marketing. And a lot of counsellors find this quite uncomfortable because we became therapists to do therapy. We didn't become therapists to do marketing. But if you do want to run a private practice, that's one of the things you need to get good at. You need to be a business owner and you need to understand that part of your job is doing marketing. And that's not always the fun part, but it is an essential part for running a private practice. And it is a skill that you can learn. It's not something impossible. You know, you read a bit, you learn a bit, and you can get better at marketing. But in terms of the kind of basics of marketing, the number one thing I would recommend is offer a service that people want that they can only get from you. So what do I mean by that? Well, if you go to, say, the BACP directory and you look at all of the counsellors, they all have the exact same description. I will create this nice, safe holding space where you can explore whatever issues you're having in your life. And they all say the exact same thing, and they really say nothing other than I'm a counsellor. And so when someone's browsing through looking for a counsellor, the only determinants are they look at your picture and do they like your face, or the price becomes the discriminator. They look for the cheapest person because everyone seems to be offering the same thing. But if you can offer something a bit different, then you're going to be much more attractive. If you're the leading person on acceptance and commitment therapy in your town, or you're the leading person in emotion-focused therapy in your town, then suddenly, rather than there being 1,000 counsellors all sound the same, someone looking for emotion-focused therapy, a much smaller field, and you look far more attractive. So you can kind of specialise in the type of therapy that people might be looking for. You can also specialise in a type of problem. And of course, that's what we do at the Leeds Anxiety Clinic, is that we are specialists in anxiety and OCD. So when people with anxiety or OCD are looking for someone, they could choose one of these generic counsellors, or they could see the people who are the experts in it. And it really doesn't matter to us that, you know, people with depression, people with bipolar, people with eating disorders don't tend to come to the Leeds Anxiety Clinic, but there's plenty of people with anxiety that need our help. And by being the best at that, our doors are always busy. So really think about how you can differentiate yourself from other counsellors, because so many counsellors have this massively generic description, whereas if you can specialise in one type of therapy or one type of problem, then it really makes it easier for customers to know that you are for clients to know that you are the right therapist for them. Beyond that, there's a range of ways that you can attract people. So word of mouth will ultimately become really powerful, even for us. Word of mouth is really good once you get that reputation. There are online directories like Counselling Directory and Psychology Today that you can get yourself listed on. And your professional body typically has a directory of approved professionals as well. And then having a website, again, where if you can really specialise, then you're going to rank better in Google and the other search engines for when people are searching for, I want a DBT specialist in my area, I want a social anxiety specialist in my area. That's where your website will come in really handy. So hopefully that was useful. There's that kind of practical side, there's the venue side, and then the finding clients and marketing side. And those are the kind of three corners of the triangle that I think you need if you're going to set up a private practice. If that was helpful, then please hit the thumbs up video. And if you'd like to see more videos on psychology and mental health, then hit that subscribe button. I can't wait to see you in another video.